Again, for those who may have missed it, the new ESPN Plus series is called Skin in the Game, hosted by Ibram X. Kendi.
Cannot wait for this.
Right? Because what he's going to do every episode is discuss the challenges of racism in the sports world. And it will reveal how pervasive racism in sports really is.
He's going to sit down with, quote, literal slaves, end quote.
Yeah. Let's play that again because it was so profound. I want everybody to understand what sports contracts really are. And she's about to explain it.
It's almost like the contracts, are the new slave chains, right?
Right.
So, you have to sign this contract and sign this document and sign this document. It's like you're binded to this. And then if you break that, that's your livelihood, that's your life. So we the new slaves. Athletes are literally the new slaves because we need this. Our families, our friends depend on this contract to eat.
You don't have to sign it. No, nobody's putting a gun to your head to sign the contract. You could go and work at 7-Eleven and you probably won't have to sign a contract, actually. Now, 7-Eleven may not pay you the slave wages that the NFL, for instance, will. You'll probably make non-slave wages like, I don't know, $15 an hour or something, as opposed to $35 million a year. So...
Yeah, but now is the
clearly
7-Eleven...
you want the freedom of the 7-Eleven clerk gig. Am I right? Where you don't sign anything.
You know what's crazy is that athletes, they're on things called teams. And then what they do is they actually have it's almost like it's a schedule that comes out
where they're
year.
breaking the rocks and digging the ditches. Is that what it does? It shows you all the places you're going to be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure does.
All right.
And it shows me, and then let me tell you how sick and twisted I am, right? Like I make an appointment to sit down.
Do you watch them break the rocks? Oh my, you are despicable.
This is white man's guilt coming out right now, live on the air. I can't even.
Yeah. Well, at least it's coming out.
We got
that going.
Oh my gosh, you freaking got me.
It never ceases to amaze the lengths to which ESPN will go in order to hammer home their propaganda and their agenda.
Yeah.
And then Disney wonders why they're not doing very well anymore. Disney owns ESPN, by the way, if you weren't aware. But they're starting to sell off properties because it is having an effect. People are done with Disney now. We're about to cancel Disney Plus. Right after Loki, bam, I'm going to cancel. So, I don't understand. Why can't you be the entertainment and sports network again? Man, they are hell-bent to drive this home. How bad white people are. How bad America is. I mean, this woman who's talking about sport contracts worth millions and tens of millions of dollars in most cases. She was drummed out, really, because of her disrespect to the American flag. And they put her on this show so that they can give her another forum. I mean, nobody wanted to hear her before. Activist athlete. Do you remember that? She pulled up her shirt and it said activist athlete on the T-shirt underneath it when she was at the Olympics. Pathetic. So just to make sure that you're hammered with all of this propaganda, ESPN has a brand new show for you. Just want to remind you of that. That's great. Leading anti-racist Boston University professor Ibram X. Kendi, will be the host of this show. Who sat around and said, you know who we need to get on ESPN? Ibram X. Kendi. How about that? Huh? Yeah. And we can talk about how, contracts are modern day slavery. So that'll be good. People will love that. Yeah, don't talk about how the sports world, like the NFL, is about 75 or 80% black. Don't talk about that. Because you would think, all right, you're going to talk about racism in sports? Are you going to talk about how there's a disproportionate number of blacks playing the sports? Because 14% of the population They shouldn't be 80% of the people involved in these sports contracts.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, NBA, same thing. Actually, it might be 75% in the NFL, 75%, and about 80% in the NBA. I mean, so are we going to do something about that? Will somebody be talking about that on ESPN?
Right.
I doubt it.
And there's always this this screaming from outlets like ESPN that, hey, there aren't enough black coaches.
Yeah.
So, okay. Then to your point, Pat, there aren't enough white players.
Yes.
But
right.
But, the thing is we want to watch the best athletes.
Yes.
And
yes.
So back off.
So you don't see white people saying, hey, why aren't there white guys out there on the basketball court? We all know why.
Why?
Because it's based on merit. Yeah, it's based on your talent.
Okay.
So these other athletes are more talented, so they get the jobs. And they sign the slave contracts.
I hear white men can't jump. I've heard that.
Yeah. There's a movie about it. All right, what are the stats? You have the exact stats, NFL and NBA?
So for the NBA, 70.4 are African American.
Lower than I thought. Okay.
And whites, 17.5.
Oh, 17.5%.
So are 9% Asian?
It breaks down to like all the different like Hispanic and all that stuff.
So
and then
70% in the NBA.
And then on the NFL,
yes,
as of 2022, 56%.
Are black?
Mm-hmm.
It's only 56%?
According to statistics, Statistica.com NFL players.
Okay.
Well, let me think about kickers, punters, offensive line.
Oh, yeah, right.
Quarterbacks.
That's right. A few quarterbacks, but those are probably, I'll bet.
But the exciting positions are black athletes.
Yes.
That's why we're turning it on. I mean,
yes.
As dreadful as the Atlanta Falcons are, Bijan Robinson, our running back, a black man, is the most exciting Atlanta Falcon to watch since Deion Sanders. We're tuning in to see exciting plays and exciting players. We're not saying, but is he black?
What a concept.
But is he white?
Yeah. Nobody cares about that.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. There was a time, in the 40s and 50s where people did care, and they shouldn't have, but they did. But we overcame that.